Vincenzo's Gold Crypto Investing on this July the 30th, 2025. If you can believe, summertime is almost 2/3 of the way over. And I ask you to bell notification, comment down below, like the channel, and share to get that truth, trust, education, and information, most importantly, as we are on a mission together to become asset millionaires via gold and silver bullion and mining stocks, 401k, steady investing, cryptocurrencies, real estate, and cash on the side, earning 3 to 5% in short-term bonds or CDs for peace of mind, emergencies, buying new, or accumulating more of an existing asset, right? And if we take a look at the Bitcoin price, you can see it's continuing to trade sideways, which is what we would expect. And we're coming up to a decision point, I believe, in this consolidation. As the track shows, this consolidation must break soon. It's primed and ready, and if you break to the upside, it's going to be a big pump to the upside where you have upper resistance all the way up there at about 150,000 and change. We'll do these in the daily today. 150,000 and change. We all know where we've been at. You can watch the prior videos. In Bitcoin, we've been in this rising channel ever since that mountain double top right there, that double topping reversal pattern from the COVID hysteria. Then we had our bottom at about $15,000. Our double topping pattern, we had a low of about 13,000 and change, and we came just above that at 15 and change. And you can see we've been in this rising channel ever since with multiple hits on upper resistance. See that? Upper resistance, multiple hits on lower support, right? Lower support, upper resistance, lower support, and now we're trading up it, and we're going to make a decision here. Are we going to break to the upside following our pattern here where we had the big pump, and you can see it's been following it pretty closely and pretty tightly, where you had your pump, consolidation, you had a consolidation, then you can see this track has another 30% move in it. And is that what we're about to do here? If you do that, you got your major upper resistance between the 137,000 and the 155,000, right? That's the bullish. On the bearish case, if it starts to come down a little bit and it actually takes the south track, you would come back down here to the pattern support level of the rising channel. It's uptrending, and at today's price, it's sitting at about 106,216.19, just below the 200-day moving or the 100-day moving average, which is running just above it. The 50 is running just below the price, and the 200 is running just below the pattern breakout, and the horizontal major 97,264.23 support level, right? So if this breaks to the downside, you would look for a major support bounce along this uptrending support. But if it holds the 50 on any kind of correction and continues up, you're looking at your next major move to the upside is very, very high, and it is possible, and it is something that we're watching to see how that consolidation plays out. You can see how close they are. The consolidations are very, very similar. Bitcoin dominance, this is a big key thing. For an altcoin rally to happen, an altcoin season 3.0, if this is to happen now, you need dominance to start falling back down to 54.52, come up to 58.79, get rejected by it, and trade down and get near some of these lows. You need to break this big uptrend that you've been in. If we go into the weekly time frame, ever since we've been at this bottom in November of 22, we've been in a tremendous rise in Bitcoin dominance and a tremendous fall in altcoin season, right? It put a kibosh on what was a big altcoin season. You can see Ethereum is running up against that megaphone pattern, where you can see with the megaphone pattern in the macro time frame, you can see we're in the weekly. You got your big pump, which you could say is your like a pull. Then you got your horizontal from left to right overhead resistance hit, first time in 24, next time in June of 24, third time in November of 24, fourth time now in June of 25. Horizontal resistance falling, descending underneath support in April of 21, support in September of 24, support in April of 25, forms the megaphone. And if it breaks bullish, your target is $10,223, right? And that's what we're watching over the next several weeks to month. Does this break bullish out of this, with obviously the $4,000 is your major upper resistance, which is the megaphone neckline right now, your major underneath support level. So that's what you need to break to get to that $10,000 target. The megaphone pattern, the 4,000, that's what you need to break. Obviously, your underneath support is the 3472 is your first one, and then your major support is the bottom part of this green support and resistance box and this uptrending rising channel that you've been in for several weeks. The XLM price, the same thing. You're below this 43 cents, and as you do know that we talked about, if you're below this 43 cents, you're short-term bearish, right? And your next major target, if you stay below the 43 cents, would be all the way down here at 36 cents, right about where the 50-day moving average is. And that would be an area you would look for a nice bounce, because if you get below the 50-day moving average, you're medium-term bearish now, and you would quickly come down to the 31 cents, near where that 100-day moving average in the daily is at 32 cents. If you're trying to reclaim this bullishness, you got to get back on top of 43 cents, hold that, and that's how you can move up to the next level. Just like I deleted that, you can delete the 55 cents and flip it to new support if you can get back on top of the 43 cents and continue to move. But as long as you're below that, you're short-term bearish. The same thing with XRP. You had another nice bounce off the 304 major support level, and that's your major short-term support. If you can stay above this, you can try to make another run at this local major resistance at 376. If you get below this 307, you immediately become short-term bearish, and you're going to fall, if you got below that 307, to the 50-day in the daily, and more than likely all the way down to the 255 or the 100-day there in blue in the daily time frame, right? So that 307 is a critical area in the short term. We're talking for XRP, where if you stay above it, you're short-term bullish and look to come to 376. Whereas if you break bearish and stay below it and reclaim the underneath of it and can't hold on the top side, you're likely to come down to the 255 to the 272. Like the channel, subscribe. Peace and love. The Rex Eyebrow, Jay.